Yesterday, Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev went back and forth. In an interview, Ilia said he thought he was fighting Islam on the White House card. However, the fight fell through because Islam got injured. Islam then fired back on X, saying that Ilia was the blame for the fight not happening because he asked the UFC for an unrealistic amount of money and the UFC declined. In Islam's response, he mentioned Ilia's manager Malki Kawa, saying that even he confirmed that information. Today, Malki responded. He said, "There's no lie. We said no to both numbers and the UFC went dark. When they came back and agreed to the numbers, Islam's hand was hurt and couldn't take the fight. So to whomever is running Islam's account, stop the bullshit. When the White House is over, we will continue to look for that fight and the money that comes with it." Robert Whittaker will be moving up to the light heavyweight division for his next fight. Fans had been speculating about a potential debut against Magomed Ankalaev in July, but in a recent interview with Main Event TV, Whittaker says he doesn't think that fight is happening.
You mentioned Magomed Ankalaev, and there have been rumors sort of pointing in that direction. Is that who we can expect you to fight next, or could it be somebody else?
I don't think so. I do know that we both announced our fights and the dates kind of lined up, but I don't think that fight's happening. There's a lot of speculation. I see a new rumored fight card with me and somebody else there every week. So I don't know who I'm up against then. Usually my relationship with the UFC is pretty good, so I try and give a date that I'll be prepared to fight, and they hook me up with the assignment. So I like the way we've done business, and I don't think I'll change it yet.
Khamzat Chimaev trolled Arman Tsarukyan after Arman referred to himself as a champion. Khamzat responded by asking, "Where's your belt?"
That's good.
Whatever it ends up.
He said easy today because he has to wrestle.
Thursday, Friday,
not
Saturday.
real wrestlers.
You'll flip against Saturday.
Champion has a name.
What's
it's
that?
Arman Tsarukyan.
All right.
Where's your belt?
Traveling around the world, taking the small guys 57 kg. I don't know when they want to be champs. Can they make one with burger for Arman?
Yeah.
Eat the burger.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Brody, Brody, you please watch this one. No, where's Brody?
I don't mind. Just
Watch that up.
Paulo Costa is set to face Azamad Mirzakhanov this weekend at UFC 327. Costa will be moving up to light heavyweight for the matchup. In an interview with Paramount, he said he plans to compete in both the middleweight and light heavyweight divisions.
This possibility to move to light heavyweight anytime. So once I see opportunity to fight Azmat, this guy at 205, and he's number 5 or 6. So I say, okay, this is a very good opportunity. Let's take that. And because I can move up and down anytime. I'm a big guy for middleweight, so it's not too much, so difficult. It's not a big difficult. I'm looking for exciting fights for the fans.
So are we looking at possibly floating between the two divisions moving forward, though?
Probably yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably yes. So I'm here to bring the good fights for the fans. I think fans don't care too much about which weight class is that. They just want to see fireworks. I think it's that.
Jiri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg goes down this weekend at UFC 327 for the vacant light heavyweight title. Ulberg admits that there's no real way to prepare for a fighter like Jiri because of how unpredictable he is.
Yeah, there's no real preparing for a particular fighter like Jiri. He's very unpredictable. We do have some looks that can give us what we need for this particular fight. It was also a very short notice to take this fight on, especially it being a world title fight, 5 rounds. But we've been preparing for this fight for years now. We've seen it happen. We've seen that Jiri could be a possible opponent, whether it be for the title or not. He would be someone in my path, and I think that was, we've always been ready. We know we're ready. When we go in there, it's just about getting the job done and handling business.
Jiri Prochazka explained why his matchup with Carlos Ulberg will be exciting for the fans, but also important for him personally. He says he sees Ulberg as a dangerous animal that he needs to hunt.
As somebody who will look from long distance, it's a great matchup. Both two stand-up guy, good styles, both of them. one crazy, chaotic guy who likes to end every fight, and the second side, a very systematical fighter who is very precise and who have the patience to wait for his moment. So I think it's a great matchup. Like when I took it like somebody who will watch the fight, you know. But from my side, from my point of view, this is the opponent who I really need, especially because he's a fast. He loves to move on the legs, a lot of left hand, the checking the jab and hook, all these things, and this is what I like to have as an opponent, you know. And this type of opponent like Ulberg, it's for me, man, I don't want to say it, but it's naturally in me. I see him as a like really dangerous animal that I like to hunt, you know. And I have to be precise, I have to be really patient, I have to pay attention about all his sharp weapons. Do not underestimate him. Any actions, every action for 200%. And so yeah, that's why I like this matchup.
Valentina Shevchenko has responded to Jake Paul's recent comments about the UFC. As many know, Jake's MVP Promotions is set to host the Ronda Rousey vs. Gina Carano event on Netflix. Jake recently claimed that the UFC is declining under Dana White's leadership, and also criticized the sport as becoming less exciting due to wrestlers like Khabib Nurmagomedov and Khamzat Chimaev. Valentina fired back on X. She wrote, "UFC dying. Hey Jake, you definitely don't know what you are talking about. Criticizing MMA from a long distance. Try to get into an octagon with one of them, and they'll wipe the floor with your pretty face. You will show spectacular, breathtaking fight from down there. Then you can tell us how fun or boring it was." Joe Pyfer was asked who he'd fight, train with, and be friends with between Israel Adesanya, Sean Strickland, and Khamzat Chimaev. Pyfer doesn't think he could be friends with Sean.
Izzy, Sean Strickland, and Khamzat.
I'd say fight Khamzat, train with Sean, and be friends with Izzy. Because I think me and Sean would butt heads if we were friends.
I think everybody butts heads with Sean. Let's go.
Yeah.
Aaron Pico is set to face Patricio Pitbull at UFC 327. Both former Bellator fighters had difficult starts in the UFC, with each losing their debut. Pico is coming off a brutal knockout loss to Lerone Murphy by spinning back elbow. However, he says he's actually glad that it happened, as it showed him the level of competition in the UFC.
Yeah, and what did you kind of identify went wrong? Was it just you got a little too over-aggressive, or was there more to it?
Yeah, it sounds weird because in a way I don't like to say this, but I'm happy that it kind of happened, because I really had to take a good look in the mirror and assess my game, especially fighting in the UFC. Sometimes you can get away with it with guys that are not skilled. You can just go in there and bulldoze guys over and throw punches and do whatever. But when you're fighting Lerone Murphy's number 2 in the world, and fighting any guy really in the UFC, you have to be very smart. I just got excited and it felt good and wasn't really thinking, and he got caught. And
earlier this week, Darren Till revealed he officially parted ways with Misfits Boxing. Today it was announced that Darren has signed with BKFC and will make his debut at BKFC 90 on May 30th in England. Who do you guys want to see Darren fight? Although Mike Perry is fighting Nate Diaz on Netflix, he recently revealed he has 2 fights left on his BKFC contract.
Do you still have fights left with BKFC?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 2.
Okay.
Maybe we'll finally get to see Perry versus Till. Post your thoughts in the comments. Jiri Prochazka and Josh Hokit got into it backstage at UFC 327 Media Day. Hokit is set to face Curtis Blades this weekend. He tells Jiri that he's going to cut him up with a lightsaber and stitch his head on Alex Pereira's body.
Man, stay where you are.
lightsaber, homie. And then stick your head on Alex Pereira's body, homie. And then Alex Pereira out top. Hello? Is this thing on? Listen. I'm gonna take out number 4 and I'm gonna saw off his head and put it on Alex Pereira's body. And then I'm gonna take number 3 and stitch it to the anus of number 2. And then I'm gonna take number 2's head and I'm gonna stitch it to the anus of number 1, creating some type of human centipede where the Incredible Hulk will put it on a leash and walk it in his front yard. Yeah. I'm in Miami, Florida. Oh yeah. To the old dying man, to the baby on the breast.
Mama, you know who the best is, Mama? The Incredible Hulk's the best, Mama.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, dog? Hey, that got kind of weird, dog. I'm sorry, dog. But the down vatos back, homie. How do you get a squirrel down from a tree, homie? You drop your pants and show him your nuts, homie. Dang, dog, that was a good one, homie. Hey, what do you call a Mexican that lost his car, dog? Carlos, homie. Damn, dog.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to the footage of Jiri Prochazka putting his hand in a swarm of ants, just to see what the bites would feel like. The first one's from John Bon Jovi. It says, next week, Jiri headbutts a mountain goat. The second one says, Jiri's life is like a box of chocolates. Never know what you're going to get. And the final one's from TSDM16. It says, praying for a Jiri win. I need him as champ again. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.